Hi everyone, this is Math for Wednesday, June 17th, more word problems. Our target today is I can solve real world problems involving areas of figures with fractional side lengths using visual models and or equations. So instead of just whole numbers, these will be fractions with side lengths, and we will find the area for these. Make sure you have a pencil and paper ready. We will start today with our multiples of 8. Are you ready? Here we go. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, 96. Okay, let's look at real world problem and I will show you how to solve this one. The length of a flower bed is 4 times, I'm going to mark up my problem using mole, 4 times as long as its width. 4 times. It says times right in the problem. Let's find out what the width is. The width is 3/8 meters. So here's my width. I can even draw, sometimes you use the box method. This method, which would be much easier, if I had one of these, it would be 3/8. So it'd be 3/8 in each one of these lengths because it said 4 times. Okay, what is the area? What are we going to do? Area is length times width. Let's not forget, area equals L times W, length times width. Oops, a little carried away there. There we go. All right, let's plug that in. A equals 38 meters. I'm sorry, 3/8 meters times a width that is, your width is, well, let's do this the other way. You can do it either way, but I like to keep the length in its place and the width in its place because I like it to be right underneath one another. So you're showing me exactly what you're talking about. The length, it says, is 4 times. So we're going to say 4 times right under the L. There you go. And the width is 3/8. So I'm going to have that right under the W to show me that that's the width. And I'm going to make this just like I did over here in purple. I'm going to put that 4/1 because I like fractions with fractions. So I've got a fraction multiplied by a fraction, and you've got 4 times 3 is 12/8. And if you reduced it, you got it's an improper fraction, so let's do 12 inside. Oops. Right, yeah. 8 on the outside. And your answer should be 1 4/8, which would also give you 1 1/2. So that should be your answer. Okay. Don't forget, they had this here, but they didn't finish by making it into an improper, taking the improper fraction and making it into a mixed number. Okay. Let's try another one. Read the question aloud as I read it to you and find the area of rectangle A. Take a moment and figure out your answer and come back when you're ready. So go ahead and pause this Let's read this together first and then go ahead and pause, and then you can figure it out and come back and we'll go over this. So some wire is used to make three rectangles, A, B, and C. Rectangle B's dimensions are 3/5 centimeters larger than rectangle A's dimension, and rectangle C's dimension are 3/5 centimeters larger than rectangle B's dimension. Rectangle A is 2 centimeters by 3 1/5. So to start you off, this is A. Here's their rectangle. And we are going to, and it says it is 2 by 3 1/2. 2 by 3 1/2. Then it says that C, well, we need to go to B first, are 3/5 larger than rectangle A, and C's dimensions are 3/4 larger than B. So we got to figure out what B is, and we got to figure out what we're going to do with C. Okay, so put this on pause. Go ahead and try to figure out what B and C is and come back, and we will do it together. Okay, now let's look at this together. 2 times 3 1/5, that's what we came up with for the first one. The next one they said is, let's go back to this. B is 3/5 larger than dimension A's dimensions. So this B has to be 3/5 larger than this. So the dimensions for B would be, you have your 3 1/2 plus 3/5 larger became 3 4/5. Okay, and then this was 2 plus 3/5 again. So we had to add 3/5 to this side, and we had to add 3/5 over here for B. And when we added those, it was 3 1/5 plus 3/5 gave me 3 4/5, and 2 3/5, or I'm sorry, 2 plus 3/5 gave me 2 3/5. Okay, now we're going to add 3/5 to this one. Okay, and 3 4/5 plus another 3/5, which gave us 3 4/5 and plus 3/5 gave us 4 2/5. And 2 3/5 plus 3/5 gave us 3 1/5. So now I have all my dimensions here. This was kind of hard. You had to really, really think about this. So now that each one is 3/5 bigger than each one going up, B is 3/5 bigger than A, C is 3/5 bigger than B. Now that we have all of our dimensions, you need to find out the area first. So 3 times 2 is 6, and 1/5 times 2 was 2/5. And that's how we got this answer. Then for B, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3/5 was 1 4/5. When you added those two together, you got 7 4/5 centimeters squared. The 4/5 times 2 was 1 3/5, and 4/5 times 3/5 was 12 over 25. My answer for that was 9 22 over 25, plus, then we're taking C, 4 2/5 times 3 1/5. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1/5 is 4/5. 2/5 times 3 is 1 1/5. And 2/5 and 1/5 is 2 25ths. And then I got this for an answer. I know this is a lot of work, but it's finding the area of each one, A, B, and C. And then when you're finished, adding them all up. Okay, and then when you're finished, when you add it up, 6 2/5, 9 22 over 25, and 14 2 over 25, you had to add them by having the same, don't forget, you have to have the same denominator. They chose 25 for the denominator, which is correct. And whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 5 times 2 on the bottom times 2 on the top gave you, oh, I'm sorry, times 5. That's right. 5 times 5 gives you 25. 2 times 5 gives you 10. All right. This one stayed the same. We used the 25. And this one stayed the same because they already had 25 in the denominator. When we added them all up, we got 30 and 9 over 25. But first we had 34 over 25, which was an improper fraction. You had to say 34 inside the house, 25 on the outside of the house. Goes in at one time. Subtract it out, and you got 9, because we had to regroup. And you had 1 and 9 over 25. Then you had to go ahead and add that to your 29. So 29 plus 1 and 9 over 25 gave you 30 and 9 over 25. And this would be what it looks like in a decimal. Okay, everyone. That's it for this lesson. Okay, last assignment for this week. You've got this. You could do it. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Please don't forget to go on IXL. Have some fun on IXL. Go to Grade 5 Diagnostic and send me a message when you're finished. Don't forget. Okay, have a great night.